Hello again. I'm Kitty. It's nice to see you all again, and hopefully you'll find this video informative, fun, maybe. I hope so. But I've been doing some research, and I do find humans fascinating. When you have, like, say, criminals that do things that aren't going to work, but they do them anyway, and then they're called stupid. I prefer Darwin Awards. It's not quite as mean. It's the meaning is still there, but you're not calling them that name. Or finding out really interesting facts about where you live, say a few hundred years ago, maybe even further. But it's interesting to see how people's opinions will change, or even sometimes how things will stay the same. So it can be an interesting way to get a gauge on society, on people as a whole, and maybe how they're progressing or not progressing, depending. But I found out something. People use words, and I don't think they fully understand the meaning of the words that they're using, such as, friend. When somebody says, "This is my friend," the use of the word friend, I think, should be used a little bit more carefully, because a friend is a precious thing. It's something that you should cherish and be thankful that you have. And they're there when things are going well, and they're also there when things are not going well. Recently I had some difficulty with something, and a friend of mine came to my rescue, and am so grateful to him for his help. But he knows that with me, if he had similar troubles, or maybe something different, that I would be there for him. But to me, that's a friendship. That's what friend means, is that you love someone and you care about them. It's a relationship, and so when people will meet somebody and within an hour they said, "Oh, this is my friend," I know acquaintance is not maybe the word people are fond of, but it's more appropriate. It's like, you barely know this person. Come on, get to know them, spend a little more time with them, let them earn the title of friend, because that is a title that it takes a little work, trust and time to, call someone your friend, right? You would think. Anyway, but yeah, he helped me, so that was really nice, and I'm very grateful to him. But he's a nurse, so he always helps people out, and it's a wonderful quality, and I have plans in the work for something for him, so I'm not going to give it away, but I think he'll like it. So yeah, I found this little fact about Plymouth. According to the records of history, or the annals of history, however you want to look at it, Devon, the county, or the area in England, however you want to call it, was the last known county in England to give up executing people for witchcraft. And it says that the last English executions for witchcraft happened in 1682 and 1685, but the rest of the country had actually stopped executing witches back in the late 1600s, but not that late. Like, we were real slow on not stopping the killing of witchcraft or witches. So it was a bit, and it says that these are the women that died: Temperance Lloyd, Susanna Edwards, and Mary Trembles of Bideford. Pardon me if I said that wrong. They died, and they were accused of causing illness and death by the black arts. I'm glad those are not things you can be accused of and condemned for now, I have to say. But, there's a point to this, because it's another term. It's, witch, right? Witch has been thrown around throughout history. Some people look at it as something you should reclaim as well. This is something that I am. I'm a witch, and they can call, the the people of a certain faith can call me a witch as a negative, but I'm going to take it as a positive. And you can. But then you have people like in this news article that I read on the BBC, and his name is David Lake, and this is a story from July 2020. And he calls himself an evil witch, and he did some very horrible things. He attacked, I believe, a shopkeeper who was in his 70s. And it was a brutal attack. It was really horrible, and the person did not deserve it at all. Excuse me, please. And the thing that killed me was, prior it said that he was ruled to be a danger to the public because he carried out a previous cannibalistic attack where he ate a woman's flesh. So he did that prior to this and was released, and now he's done this. Unless I'm completely misunderstanding this, wow, right? But he called himself an evil witch. I find that offensive, to be honest, because, I suppose you could describe me as a witch. And I don't know, maybe I am. But I am not going to allow somebody like him to besmirch the name of witch with that, because I see it happen quite often. It's not just this story, but I see several stories in the news and throughout my lifetime where people have said that they were witches and then proceeded to commit horrible acts. And then not just that, but you have people that say they say they're horror movie fans, and they go out and commit horrible acts, and they blame the movies. Or, finally, the ones that listen to metal music of varying kinds, and then they proceed to do horrible acts and then blame it on the music. Let me tell you, I am 45 years old. I have never been arrested. I've never assaulted someone. I've never stabbed someone. I've never done anything that these people feel compelled to do and then blame it on music and movies and whatever else they can think of. By their logic, I would be some kind of psychotic killer. But I'm not. I love horror movies. I have marathons every now and then. I enjoy them tremendously, and I know that it's not real. And I don't glorify what's happening on there as it's happening to a real person, because that would be horrible. You wouldn't want that to happen to a real person. Not ever. But it does upset me when I hear people blaming these things, and yet here I am, and a number of other people I know, who have never done anything even remotely horrible, and yet because we like some of the similar things, we're kind of locked into that category of, weirdo and freak. Well, I am a weirdo, okay? Maybe I am a freak, but I'm not hurting anybody, and I don't want to. And there's a lot of us out there that are similarly inclined that don't want to hurt people either. And that's just how we are. We just want to live our lives. We just happen to like darker and creepier and strange looking things. But, that's what upset me about that news story. He just seems to revel in the attention he's getting from it, and he's hurt people horribly, and I would never do that. Never. Anyway, so that's just something that I think people should really think about, are the words that they use. When you have just met somebody, and say a week passes, or even a month, and you look at them in all seriousness and say, I love you, isn't that a little soon? You know, for me, that's a bit of a red flag when somebody does that too soon. When they say things like that, it's very surprising to me, and it has always taken me a very long time to develop feelings for someone, especially in that vein. It just doesn't happen overnight, and I have had a conversation with someone who, within an hour, was telling me things like that. And this has happened several times, so it's not a one-time fluke, and it has not just happened to me. Really stop and think about the words that you're using. Love, friend. Come on. These words matter. They have weight to them. I just think that people should really stop and think about what they're saying before they say it, but they don't. A lot of them just fly off the handle, and then they regret what they said, and then they have to apologize for it. And hey, just think about what you said first, if you can. If not, say, wait a minute, I need a minute. And if they can't give you that minute to think, then maybe you shouldn't be talking to that person, or maybe they should just give you some space. I don't know, but there are good ways of communicating, I think. All right, so I did find some very funny stories about some criminals in Plymouth that I was reading about, and some of them are they're kind of funny. Some guy decided to rob a Pizza Hut at knife point, and he was running away with his mom in tow, and instead of getting into a getaway car like you would imagine in some sort of like Hollywood movie, he ran to the bus stop and got on the bus and then got caught. I don't know the person, and I don't know what their struggles are. I really don't, and I'm not laughing at their struggles. It's just the way they went about it. I mean, come on, how far did you think you were going to get? That's pretty bad. And then, of course, you have this other guy who, he robbed someone, and he was trying to like get his money that he'd stolen into his house, but he locked himself out, and he couldn't get back in, and apparently somebody called the cops because they thought he was breaking in, and that's when they caught him with money that was not his. So yeah, that was a bit silly. You just have people doing such silly things, and I don't understand why. Oh my gosh. See, here's another one. You have one who was caught red-handed, half asleep at the wheel of a car with cocaine in a Kinder Egg inches away from his nose. Isn't that kind of counter to what cocaine supposedly does? I don't know. Or the other thing that I think is really bad is and I've read multiple stories on this. How many times have you read a story about a drug dealer who, I don't know what they're thinking, I don't know why they do it, it's going to get you caught, it's going to get you in trouble, and it always does almost every time I see the news and they get caught. It's because they did a video of themselves, either committing the act or like showing the paraphernalia, whatever it is. I mean, if you're in a country where you're not supposed to be doing this particular thing, I don't think the smartest thing to do is go onto your cell phone or your mobile phone, go onto social media, because nobody can keep a secret nowadays, and then expect to just be able to talk about your underhanded dealings and get away with it. It isn't going to work. It won't work. I mean, we had a criminal where I used to live in America who, for some reason, it was about 2 or 3 in the morning, he wanted to break into somebody's house. So he picked up a weed eater. We call them weed whackers. which is another American word. I don't think you call them weed whackers here, but we called them weed whackers because it was just, I don't know, it was a funny word. But he picked it up, and instead of swinging it at the window to break the glass, he turned it on at 2 to 3 in the morning in a quiet neighborhood, turns on the weed eater, revs the engine 2 or 3 times, and then swings at the glass. He broke in, and it was a glass factory. I can't make this stuff up. You can look it up on the Darwin Awards. It's on there. He breaks into this glass factory, and it's safety glass. So if you know anything about safety glass, it curls in, and it's a solid kind of, it's got like a mesh in it, I think, or something. Obviously, it makes it safety glass. Well, he got into the factory, but he couldn't get back out. And so he ended up having to call the police to rescue him from his own crime. I don't know. I don't understand it, but that's the news. That's what I know. There's just so much in the world that doesn't make sense. I suppose I have to find the comedy in it, because there's just a lot of bad things happening, and it's just more fun to, I don't know, find funny stories where people didn't get hurt, you know, and it's just silly. Oh my gosh, what did he do? No. What? Oh my gosh. Well, officers do need evidence before they hold someone. This guy apparently was not that subtle. He left a massive clue about where he'd hidden the drugs. They found several pots of Vaseline and tissues scattered about. He produced the drugs with a street value of nearly 6,000 pounds. And guess where he hid them? Yeah. Yay. And you know what's funny? It was in a place that's really walking distance from my house. I'm not going to say where, obviously, but yeah, I've walked by there several times. Wow. Oh my gosh. And people think they're going to get away with counterfeit money, because that works. Oh no. I don't know what people are thinking. They just don't think. It's crazy days. All right. Well, anyway, one other thing I discovered when I moved to England, and I'd never even thought about doing this before. In America, we don't have beans on toast. It's not a thing. It should be, because it's really nice, but no beans on toast. So I had my first round of that with Gaia, and it's really nice. I highly recommend it. I think you should go out and buy yourself some Heinz beans. Get some toast. Toast the bread. Some people butter it, some people don't. She does, I don't. And then just heat up the beans and pour some beans over toast. Just try it. It's really, really good. Surprisingly filling. Lots of protein. It's a win-win. And if you really want to get fancy, add some cheese on top. Or at least that's what she tells me. So yeah, you should try that for breakfast. It's really good. Maybe an egg. Don't know. But yeah, so it's really great to be back on here. I'm enjoying the channel as it's growing. Still a little baby channel, I know that, but I'm not going to give up, and I'm just going to keep at it. And who knows, maybe, maybe this time next year I'll have 400 people that are watching me, and that would be really cool, But yeah, please, leave comments at the bottom if you have any questions, or if you'd like to know anything more. I try to make my videos interesting. Again, All I can do really right now is just talk and react with what I'm reading, but I do have ideas for the future. Eventually I'd like to get a little green screen, and eventually, I would like to get maybe like a better webcam, something a little bit bigger, so that way I can maybe show you some of my artwork, some of the things that I've been working on, because I've been doing a lot of drawing, and but I'll include my deviant art at the bottom, and of course, you're welcome to have a look if you want to, or don't. It's up to you. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. So I hope you guys like my videos. If you get to the end of this, which I hope you do, please subscribe, and subscribe to the updates as well, so that way you know when I put out new videos. And I think I've kept my promise for this week. I put out a video a week, and I don't know, I'm feeling kind of inspired. I might do another one tomorrow. I don't know. And I don't know if I'm ever going to do my hair any other way, because I love my buns. Look at these things. They're so cute. Oh my gosh. Although I might get some like interesting hair and attach and add some like color or something like that. I don't know. It's an idea. But anyway, you guys take care of yourselves, please. And don't forget to wear your mask. I don't care if the mandate says don't wear your mask. It's a good idea to do it. Trust me, okay? I heard about what the Texas governor is doing down there from a friend who lives in Texas, and I just think that's not the best idea. The first sign that the cases in COVID are not as bad as they were, and all of a sudden you're lifting all the bans and all the mandates. I really would recommend keeping your mask on and being careful. Because I don't want to see people suffer. I don't want to see people get sick and die. I don't. And I really don't care if somebody gets upset at me saying you should wear your mask. Because if it makes you mad and you put a mask on, good. Then I've helped. I've helped you. I don't want to see you get sick, okay? I really don't. So you be careful out there. Put your mask on. And hopefully I will see you on the next video, okay? Bye-bye, guys. You take care.